The theatre is empty, the applause has faded, and under a single flickering candle, an old actor wakes up, forgotten by the world that once adored him. This is Anton Chekhov's The Swan Song, a play that doesn't show us grand battles or royal courts, but something far more haunting, the last moment of an artist's soul. Written in 1887, this short one act masterpiece captures the raw pain of aging, loneliness, and the strange beauty that lingers in the heart of every performer. It's not just a story about an actor, it's about all of us who have ever longed back and wondered, have I done enough? Let's explore Chekhov's The Swan Song, its story, characters, and deeper meanings, and see how this simple play becomes a profound reflection on art, time, and the human spirit. The play begins in a dark, silent theatre. The night's performance is long over. But one man has been left behind, Vasily Svetlo-Widow, a 68-year-old actor. He wakes up on stage, half drunk, confused, and alone. For a moment, he cannot tell whether he is still dreaming. The applause he once heard in this hall has vanished, and now there is only darkness and echoes. In this airy silence, he begins to speak, first with fear, then with nostalgia. He remembers the golden days of his career, the crowds, the lights, and the women, the fame. He had once lived for the stage, but now he realizes he has nothing left. No family, no friends, and no one waiting for him outside the theatre doors. Then a quiet breaks the stillness, a movement behind the curtains. It's Nikitin, the old prompter who also stayed behind after the performance. Unlike the actor, Nikitin lives a life of invisibility, always hidden, always helping others shine. The two men talk. Svetlo-Widow, emotional and unsteady, begins pouring out his heart. He laments how he wasted his life chasing applause instead of love. He curses his old age, the wrinkles that have replaced his beauty, the silence that has replaced laughter. But as he talks, something magical happens. Almost without realizing it, Svetlo-Widow slips into the voice of an actor again. He begins reciting lines from the Shakespeare, from Hamlet, Othello, and King Lear, moving between tragedy and triumph. The stage that once haunted him now becomes his companion again. His words echo through the empty hall, filling it with life for a few brief moments. He is not an old man, he is an artist reborn. Nikitin, quietly watching, becomes his only audience, a witness to the actor's final glorious performance. As this play draws to close, Svetlo-Widow realizes something profound. He may have lost everything, but his art is eternal. Even if the world forgets him, the emotions he once gave to his audience will live on. This realization fills him with peace. The actor who began the play broken and lost ends it with dignity, singing his final beautiful swan song. Now let's look at the character analysis. Chekhov's play revolves around just two characters, yet their contrast reveals everything about the artist's life. Vasily Svetlo-Widow, the actor, is the very image of brilliance fading into shadow. He has given his life to art, but the cost has been enormous. He is alone, physically weak, and emotionally exhausted. He is drunken, rambling, hides a deep truth. He fears that his life, no matter how dramatic, has been meaningless. But through his performance, through his final act, he regains a sense of purpose. The other actor, Nikitin, the prompter, is humble and loyal. He lives in the background, uncelebrated, but it is his quiet presence that allows Svetlo-Widow to rediscover himself. If Svetlo-Widow represents the flame of art, Nikitin represents the steady hand that keeps the flame from going out. Together, they embody two sides of theatre: glory and obscurity, performance and support, light and shadow. Now let's look at the themes. Chekhov's genius lies in how he uses a single night in a theatre to explore universal human truths. First, aging and time. Svetlo Widow's confusion at waking alone in the dark mirrors, the confusion of facing one's own morality. His life on stage has passed in an instant, a reminder of how swiftly time erases even the brightest fame. Second, loneliness and regret. The empty theatre symbolizes the silence that follows a lifetime of noise. Chekhov shows us that applause cannot replace human connection, and that recognition without love leads only to emptiness. Third, the power of art. Yet, even in despair, art redeems him. When Svetlo Widow begins to perform, he feels alive again. Chekhov suggests that true art has the power to outlive the artists, to give meaning to even the loneliest existence. Fourth, the Swan Song. The title refers to the ancient belief that swans sing their most beautiful song before they die. Svetlo Widow's emotional outburst and performance are exactly that, his final radiant song before silence. Fifth, life as performance. For Chekhov's, the stage is life itself. We are all actors performing roles, hiding pain, seeking meaning, and when the curtain falls, we are all left behind wondering what our own performance was worth. Chekhov's message. Chekhov doesn't mock his old actor. He treats him with quiet compassion. Through Svetlo Widow, Chekhov reminds us that even in failure, there is beauty. Even in despair, there is art. He believed that every human, no matter how ordinary or forgotten, carries a spark of greatness, and that spark, once expressed through love, work, or art, never truly dies. Let me conclude, children. In the Swan Song, Chekhov transforms a simple one-act play into a reflection of the entire human experience. It's a story about an actor, but it is really about us. We all seek applause, we all dread being forgotten, and we all hope that something of us will remain after the curtain falls. Svetlo Widow's final performance teaches us that meaning doesn't come from fame or youth, it comes from authentic expression. To live truly is to create, to feel, and to give, even if no one is watching. So when you think of Chekhov's Swan Song, don't just see an old man in an empty theatre. See the echo of every artist, every dreamer, every human being who dares to keep performing even when the lights go out. Because perhaps in the end, what matters most is not how long the applause lasts, but whether we had the courage to sing our swan song before the silence. If you have understood this lesson, please hit the bell icon, subscribe to my channel, like, comment and share it with your friends. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.